Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Omega Ruby. I'm your host of PokeGame. In the last episode, we went head to head with two more legendaries, those being Cavalion and Palkia. Today we are going to be continuing through the legendary escapade, so to speak, and catch both Terrakion and Tornadus. To do so, we are going to be keeping Uxie with us. Uxie has a impish nature, and for those who don't already know what impish does, it reduces your special attack to increase your physical defense. So this means that our special attacking psychic super effective moves on the fighting type Terrakion will now do a little bit less damage, and we can also take better physical damage from Terrakion itself because Terrakion is really good at using physical attacks. So that's kind of the idea here. I actually didn't do any damage calculations with this. I kind of tested it a little bit off screen, kind of just dropped by the pathless plane, threw Uxie in the battle, used extra sensory a couple times just to kind of gauge the kind of damage that it would do, and it seemed pretty solid, so that's what I decided that we were going to go with. I did, however, do damage calculations with Tornadus, which we're going to need the cast form that you saw in our party. We're going to need that. You need to have, it's kind of like how we needed Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf in order to get Palkia to appear. It's the same aspect, so we kind of need it in order to get Tornadus to appear. I don't understand the connection between the two other than the fact that there might be some kind of like weather thing there. I mean, if you remember in Generation 5, Tornadus and Thundurus created thunderstorms and all these other types of storms, like heavy rain or, you know, really windy, heavy rain. So obviously that's probably the only kind of like thing that connects the two is the fact that cast form changes form depending on your weather. So that's the only thing I can really think of. But regardless, as you saw, we ended up leading with, you know, the whole paralysis thing. Now all that's left really is having Uxie do the damage, which it does just enough damage. It gets it into the red, and obviously that just kind of simplifies things. Of course, it doesn't simplify catching it, it just simplifies making it easier to catch, I guess. It's kind of weird how that works out. And there's the difficulty of actually, you know, getting it within capture range and then actually catching it. So, I mean, there's that. So there's something I want to do, I want to talk about because we're going to be here with Terrakion probably quite a while, because legendaries are always stubborn, are they not? Considering the fact that it's now in the red, we can now start throwing dust balls at it now that it is, of course, nighttime. I don't know if anyone heard that. It's kind of like this weird internal orgasmic sound that just decided to come out. So if you hear that, my apologies and excuse me. But there's something I wanted to talk about because it seems that it was popular enough. And by popular enough, I mean the L-Sword video that I had put up of me obtaining the Reaper title. Now, I don't know if it was just because of the Reaper title, maybe people that weren't subscribed to me kind of migrated to it because of the Reaper title. Maybe it was the thumbnail having the Reaper title there, maybe it was Crimson Avenger being there. I don't know how many people that actually are currently subscribed actually kind of watched the video and go and went, you know, this is kind of different, this is kind of cool. I don't know. So part of me is kind of tempted to make a separate video, kind of being like, do you guys actually want to see me do L-Sword stuff on here? I don't know if I really would ever do PvP. Maybe I could PvP with, you know, with my viewers, and maybe record them or something. I don't know. I suck at PvP, honestly. I'm decent enough with the characters that I have a lot of experience with, but outside of that, I am kind of bad. It's just recently that I kind of learned how to be better with the Eve classes. If you don't know who I'm talking about, just search for L-Sword Eve and I'm sure you'll find it. More specifically, if you want to find the specific class that I'm using, look into Code Nemesis and Code Battle Seraph. You'll be able to get a good idea as to the characters, some of the characters that I play. I have a lot of characters, so I mean, but yeah, I mean, 154 views, I think, is what it's currently sitting at. That's a lot of views compared to a lot of my other videos. I'm not gonna lie, you know, my Pokemon stuff is probably not that fantastic, but compared to a lot of my uploads, the Elsword video seems to do like 100% better than everything else that I upload. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that anyone that does watch has probably gotten tired of me doing Pokemon stuff because, I mean, even though it is, the channel's name is the Poke Gamer, it's supposed to be a primarily Pokemon channel, but I'm sure that a lot of people don't really care too much about Let's Plays and more about the Wi-Fi battles, the competitive aspect of things, which is one. I'm sure anyone that watches me actually catch legendaries knows full and damn well that I try to be very intelligent about how I go about catching it. For example, here, obviously I know I'm part flying currently, obviously by Mega Evolving and using Roost. If I do for some reason take any damage, I can say, no, I'm not taking any damage. If, you know, it breaks through the paralysis, then yeah, I'll probably still take damage. Obviously the paralysis, I'll end up moving first. But if for some reason something weird happened, I kind of just went with the Roost anyways just to prevent myself from doing damage to it. So obviously it allowed me to get that Mega Evolution, allowed me to kind of take away that flying aspect, you know, while still having that fighting resist. Despite that, of course, it's got like +4, +6 right now, which is absolutely absurd, but not much that I can really do about that. But, like, as I said, I do try to bring that competitive aspect to something like this. You could kind of... I'm very huge in Elsword. A lot of people already know this. There is two things that you can consider yourself in a game like Elsword. You're either into PvP, which is obviously player versus player, and then you have PvE, which is player versus environment. The way that I see a Let's Play like this is the PvE aspect of the game, at least when it comes to Pokemon. When it comes to Pokemon PvP, it's obviously the competitive battling against other players. It's pretty much the same exact thing. Just there's less actual interaction with other people in the actual game itself. You just find each other through the internet and say, okay, I'm going to battle you. Honestly, you'd think that they would... I think the reason why they haven't gotten past that, by the way, is the fact that they want to kind of have a bit of the traditional feel to the game still in the game, which is why you see, you know, just walking around, NPCs being mindlessly doing whatever, and most of them not even contributing much to the game itself. So, I mean, I don't know. Imagine if Pokemon actually did become more MMO-like, especially like Elsword, because with Elsword there is costumes, there's all kinds of things, that fancy doodads that you can make yourself look unique with. And this is something that kind of makes me think, if Pokemon was like that, you know, that'd be kind of interesting to me. I'm not trying to say that it should be Elsword or something like that, of course, but I'm just saying that maybe something along the lines, like, okay, let's give a hint, not a hint, suggestion, a mindful suggestion or something to Nintendo. Sorry if you heard my phone. I always forget to like mute that. But a sort of mindful suggestion. Make something for the Wii U or for the next gen home console that they decide to make, whatever it may be. Have it be more open. Allow people to customize their trainers again, you know, whatever. Make it so they can actually walk around through the towns, and for whatever reason, you can actually connect to like certain servers somehow or something, and, you know, kind of get to that point where you can actually interact with people that are also playing around the world. I don't know if there are any games that are currently out to do that, because I'm poor and I don't really have very many games. Well, it's kind of a lie. I have... Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's 9 if you don't count the, you know, old DS games. Because I have 2 copies of Pokemon Black for some reason. And then I have, or not 2 copies of Pokemon Black. 1 copy of Pokemon Black and then 2 copies of Black 2. So that would actually be 11 games with, you know, this doesn't count digital, by the way. If you're counting digital, then it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like 5 games that are digitally downloaded on like everything, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm actually rather poor, obviously, so I don't really know if there are any other games that actually allow for people to just walk around freely within the game that you kind of just like invite. I'm kind of thinking Animal Crossing. I don't know if that was a thing, but yeah. That's just something that kind of comes to mind. I don't know. But it kind of reminds me of like a street pass type of thing. Actually, come to think of it, we did kind of have a little bit of that aspect. Believe it or not, we actually did. If you think back to Black and White 2, it might be 2, maybe even 1. I'm not entirely sure between the two because I don't really remember it, and I think that it's physically impossible to do this now. Don't quote me on that. I remember when I was hanging out at the card shop that I used to go to all the time, I would kind of want to do like Entralink stuff through, like the dream area and all that other, and I don't remember why I did it per se. Maybe I thought it was fun or something, I don't know. But I remember going through it, and you could travel into another person's game. Now, if I remember correctly, you could actually even see them moving around. You just couldn't interact with them. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe Pokemon can take that turn, and that would be something that I think that would be very interesting. Having like full customization, being able to see things in beautiful, really high definition, like in your face type of, crap. Like, that'd be just amazing. So I don't know. We don't really have much time left to talk about this kind of stuff because, we ended up actually catching Tornadus a lot faster than I ever expected, and I kind of rambled on about stuff that people probably don't give a shit about. So I do apologize if you just didn't care about what I was saying, but I mean, catching legendaries outside of me potentially getting trolled like Terrakion was kind of starting to do. Thank God it participated, and was like actually, or cooperated, I guess is better than participated, but you know what I mean. But yeah. So anyways, in the next episode, hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be there or not. If it's not, then we're probably not going to be able to get Cresselia. Cresselia is just like this RNG thing, and I can't really do much about it because currently no one knows really how to get it to appear. But if it does happen to appear, we will be catching that tomorrow, as well as catching the other of the Eon duo. So be sure to stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.